Alright, my first move is going to be before the battle is even triggered. I'm going to turn the battle animations off. Because between the rest animations, the Z's, all that stuff, the sunlight animation, even though airlock cancels it out, that's right, this is going to be the core of my strategy here. I'm going to explain it, or rather, I'm going to show it to you. Exactly what I'm planning to do. Drought does not intensify the sun's rays because Rayquaza's in there with airlock. Cloud9 would work as well. And my plan is to see double resistance to Fire Blast, and it can do only 31 damage to me. And Dragon Claw, it just falls short of a 2-hit KO, so it's excellent. I couldn't have wished for a better execution. And if it was a 2-hit KO, I would have used Flamethrower as my second attack, and now I'm going to start throwing balls right away. I'm not going to bother sending this and that to put it to sleep, because Groudon is just going to trounce everything with its sunlight-powered attack. Or attacks, rather, since it removes the charge on Solar Beam. So let's try another Ultra Ball, broke free. So, okay, used Rest. So now I have 3 turns to try and catch it while it's asleep. 2 of those turns are going to be spent putting its HP back in the red with Dragon Claw. So this is exactly what I'm going to do, and Shell Bell animation isn't displayed either. See what I meant when I said you'd thank me for turning out the battle animation? This is what I meant. We would see Groudon snoring like there's no tomorrow, and I just wasn't going to have that. It would have dragged on this thing for way longer than it needed to be. Alright, now this is what I like to call my mulligan turn, where I can actually try to catch it with low HP and sleep too. Ah! And now the stupid thing wakes up, and it uses rest again. Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. You know what? I'm going to try something. I'm going to try catching it asleep and at full HP. That's why I get to throw 3 balls at it instead of just 1. I don't know if it improves my odds much, but I'll try it and see what gives. Oh, sounds good, sounds good! Wow! This really paid off! Wow! I didn't expect it would work on the first attempt, but I'll take that! And Groudon is said to make volcanoes erupt. Doesn't Entei have that ability too? So we're only in the 3rd generation, and Game Freak is already starting to recycle lore for its Pokémon. Real creative there. But I'd be an ungrateful Philistine if I didn't show more appreciation for the awesome product they're putting out. But, okay, let's head back to Fortree and grab Groudon, and of course heal my Rayquaza, even though it wasn't needed that much, but I still want to be in peak condition for Kyogre since it's coming right up. And a lot of people are thinking that I'm going to axe Blaziken from my team to make room for Groudon, but I'm actually going to give Skarmory the axe because although I really liked what all 6 of my team members have done, well, even Rayquaza in its bench warmer role, I still think Skarmory is the most expendable one, and not Blaziken. In fact, Blaziken and Groudon can work rather well together, so I'm going to take the Shell Bell from Skarmory and give it to Groudon instead. First, I'm just going to check what kind of nature Groudon has, and it's Quirky, which is a neutral nature, but since I'm planning on having this Groudon be a mixed attacker, it's not as bad as it could have been. So I'm going to take the Quirky nature, and there we go, Skarmory, you are awesome, and I hope everyone remembers you as much as I do. And we are going to stick that Shell Bell we took from Skarmory and put it on Groudon, and I'm going to wait a little before giving Groudon Earthquake instead of Fissure, because I'm not planning on using it against Kyogre, to be honest. That's just suicide. But okay, now we're going to head back to the Weather Institute and see just where Kyogre is, because now that we've caught Groudon, there's only one thing that this guy can tell us now, and it's the whereabouts of Kyogre. So there's heavy rainfall over Route 125. I actually drew a pretty favorable route because Route 127 is the worst one because it requires a lot of moving around in order to find those dive spots, because that's something else. Kyogre, to reach Kyogre, we need dive. So I'm going to have to sacrifice a team member in order to put Tentacool on my team. So I'm not going to be surprising anyone by saying that Blaziken is going to be expandable for this fight. I'm not going to pit a Blaziken against a Kyogre. No freaking way. So I'm going to switch it for Tentacool. It's really stupid, that whole concept of HM slaves. I'm still hoping they remove it in black and white, even though I'm not holding my breath. And as I make my way to the dive spot, you will notice me doing something very unsnowflake-like. I'm going to run from random encounters. The reason for that is because I want everyone to be in peak condition for fighting Kyogre. Because now Kyogre adds to the mix of really powerful attacks, the potential of suicide with Double Edge, Rest, and also Sheer Cold, which Rayquaza is not immune to, unlike Groudon's Fissure. And I think I passed the first possible dive spot for Kyogre, so that means there's only one left, and I have a pretty good idea where it is. I think it's at the extreme upper left corner of the route, which is shaped sort of like a square, because in fact it's almost larger than it's long, because the island where the Shoal Cave is takes so much place. And right now, I have an urge to pee like you wouldn't believe. My eyes are literally turning yellow. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get right next to Kyogre, and I'm going to take a piss, because I just can't stand it anymore. In fact, that sort of reminds me of when I went to catch Zapdos in Red, which was my first legendary catch in those LP series. Of course, I'm not going to mention Zapdos anymore, not to jinx my chances. But okay, so Kyogre has Hydro Pump, Sheer Cold, Rest, and Double Edge. Each of these moves presents a level of annoyance that's unbelievable. So Kyogre is right here, and I'll be right back. Okay, this feels so freaking good. My bladder was about to explode. And so, we are going to meet the god of the sea itself. And it is perhaps the most difficult catch of the entire series because of the compounded risks of Rest, Hydro Pump, Double Edge Suicide. Oh no, you're not doing that to me right now. And of course, there is also Sheer Cold, which can kill anything instantly. Like that! Hacksfest 2010 is going in overtime, folks! But okay, maybe it's not as hard as Red, Blue, and Yellow Mewtwo, but still the closest we'll ever get. So, Milotic is going in since it's the one that stands the best chance of survival against this monster, and you're going to sleep. You are so going to sleep for what you just did to Rayquaza. And okay, I'm going to try and catch it now because, let's face it, Milotic isn't going to be doing spectacular amounts of damage, and I still don't feel the absolute urge to revive Rayquaza just yet. 2, 3, no! Oh, wow! I think I just found the secret to catching legendary Pokemon. Screw those crazy button combinations of sorts. All you need is a full bladder, and then you empty the damn thing, and right after you go and catch the legendary, and you're guaranteed to get it in one ball with Master Ball-like accuracy. Wow! I expected those two Ubers combined to take like something like an hour and a half, 2 hours maybe. Not even 10 minutes of footage! Unbelievable! Okay, so I have plenty of time to get over the shock. Oh my god. And in the next video, I'm going to go for the last legendary in the game, that is Latias. as the weather returns to normal on the peaceful Route 125.